You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome to Daytime Ottawa on this Easter Monday. Oh my goodness, I hope you had a chance to enjoy a long weekend with friends and family. I feel like my first guest today is family. Actually, a couple of the guests on the show, they feel like family by this point. You know her, you love her. She is the host of Paula Roy's Favorite Foods right here on Rogers TV, also recipe developer with Constantly Cooking and food editor with Ottawa at Home magazine. Paula, how are you?
I am just great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. You had a good weekend?
Absolutely. It's not over yet.
It is not. It is not over yet. You're right. And I sometimes I think, you know, when it comes to something like Easter Monday, oh, we're going to take the day off. And I was like, no, I don't want to take the day off. We want people like you come in and keep that fun that everybody had on the weekend going.
Absolutely.
And that's what you're talking about today, right? Fun. Having fun with food.
Having fun with food. That's right. So April Fools. Are you an April Fools kind of guy? Do you like?
I am. We used to do something on the show all the time. And then just, you know, once we sort of came back from the pandemic, I just haven't gotten it. But maybe next year.
I have never missed playing a prank.
Did you play a prank today?
Of course I did. My kids used to start like March 29th, dreading April 1st, wondering what was going to happen to them. One year I sewed an entire box of Cheerios together on a really, really, really long thread. So there's my bleary-eyed teenage son opening the box to pour his breakfast cereal, and the entire box comes puddling out all over.
No way.
Yeah, in one solid man. That was great. And then another year, at my mom's suggestion, she was probably 85 at the time.
Okay.
She's now almost 95. She said, move your husband's car around the corner, and when he goes to look for it in the morning, he'll think it's stolen.
Nice.
It was great.
Look at you.
Yeah, it was great. And this morning, I did a big, huge sign that covered the whole interior of our fridge. So when my husband opened it up, first thing in the morning, there's a big out of order sign on the inside. And I was in another room and I could hear him just laughing his head off.
Oh, I love it. Good for you. I love that you're doing that.
Fun food to fit that theme. Here, kids love tiny things, tiny food, tiny toys, all kinds of tiny. So I made these fun fried eggs on toast, which I invite you to taste.
Cute.
Are those not the cutest things?
Oh my goodness.
So it's just a waffle pretzel and a white chocolate melting wafer and a yellow M&M. And contrary to belief, you can very delicately with the scoop at Bulk Barn scoop out just one color and they won't get mad at you with the cash.
Really?
So taste-wise, super tasty, super tasty.
Oh, the sweet and salty.
I know.
It's just perfect.
I know. So very, very fun.
That is really cute. I love that.
Something kids can easily do because you just melt the white chocolate wafers on top of the pretzels in the microwave. So no cooking required. Very safe, very easy. And
wonderful.
Yeah. So this is my almost famous pizza cake.
Okay.
I made this one year for my son's birthday, and I must have put in a little more red food coloring in the frosting for his because the icing was really, really red. And I brought it out to the table, and he's like really confused. He's about 8 years old. He's like, that doesn't look like a birthday cake. What's going on? And anyway, lots of fun. So just cooked the cake in a pizza pan lined with parchment paper, and then tinted the frosting, as I said, and then you can, again, choose out the candies of the right colors that you need at Bulk Barn and cut them into pieces. That
is a great idea.
I'll have you sprinkle the cheese on top.
And this is what, just white chocolate?
White chocolate, yeah. And it just adds to, like, doesn't that look like a pizza?
Oh, yeah, it looks great. I love it. Super
fun. And, you know, the whole family can use a few laughs all the time. So
look at that.
Serve that up. Really fun.
Yeah, that's a thing of beauty right there. Well, the fun continues. You got something else here.
Yeah.
This is what, it looks like ice cream, but you're telling me it's not ice cream.
It looks like ice cream sundaes, but it's actually cupcakes. So you can buy these little cardboard cups at most grocery stores.
Okay.
And I've even seen them at some of the dollar stores as well. And so that kind of looks like whipped cream going on top.
Yeah.
And then we're going to add a little caramel sauce, because what's an ice cream sundae without sauce?
Is this homemade?
Of course.
Well, I'm just checking. You never know. You don't mind people cheating either, right?
Well, exactly. Just like the cake, there's nothing wrong with a boxed mix. If that's what you have time for, then it's better to do it with a boxed mix than not at all, in my opinion.
Paul and I were talking off camera, and you know, part of the thing with food and preparing food now is people are looking at it as a chore. And it really shouldn't be. It should be something that's fun and, you know, and engaging everybody and enjoying the experience of creating something yourselves, right?
Yeah, and it's like people who have demonized dessert. There's nothing wrong with having a little dessert.
Exactly.
You know? We don't have to have Brussels sprouts 5 times a day. Not that there's anything wrong with Brussels sprouts,
No,
but
I like a good Brussels sprout.
Yeah.
Just back in the day, we used to just boil them to death, and now we've learned that you don't need to do that.
That's right.
I like blanching them and then, well, put them in a pan with bacon.
Air fryer.
Oh, you
best.
you and Julie Finley.
Yep.
You guys
a little bit of
love your
olive oil,
air
salt and pepper, air fry them. They get just starting to char.
Really?
Just a little balsamic on them, a little chive butter if you want to get fancy. So good.
You two are convincing me to try the air fryer.
Okay. So anyway,
yeah,
aren't these
look at
just
this.
super
This looks
cute?
amazing.
Yeah, and so people are thinking, oh, okay, ice cream sundae, and then they dip their spoon in, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, there's a cupcake
what
hiding
is
in here.
going on in there?
Yeah, so really, really fun.
I love it.
So speaking of air fryers, I made these pavlovas in the air fryer.
Nice.
So 1 egg white. To make 2 of those. How great is that?
Really?
1 egg white, 3 tablespoons of sugar, a little bit of cornstarch, a little vinegar, a little vanilla, a little bit of salt. That's it. And I just beat it. I use my trusty stand mixer.
Yeah.
Just takes a couple minutes to beat it up. And then you just have parchment lining your air fryer and then just spoon it in, make a little sort of nest shape.
Yeah.
And it takes 18 minutes at 260 Fahrenheit.
Really?
So fast.
See, listen, this is Monica's favorite. She loves these things. So I might even be able to convince her to get an air fryer if these are coming out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Because it ties up the oven. If you want to make them in a regular oven, it takes hours.
It does, yeah.
So
okay.
I don't know why it's so magical in the air fryer. So I know how much you love spraying whipped cream.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Look at that.
And then we'll just add a little bit of fruit. And look at that, what a great dessert.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
simple and great for spring. It's just nice and light and fluffy. You can add a little lemon to your whipped cream if you want to get all fancy.
Yeah.
So just a really, really great dessert. So again, think about having fun, and it's not even just about getting kids involved in the kitchen. Sometimes partners can have more fun cooking together if they're not focused on, low fat, low cal, gluten free, whatever. If you need to adhere to those things, that's fine. But why not flip through some cookbooks together, look online, pick out some fun food.
I agree.
And divvy up the tasks. I personally don't like making a dish with someone. I'd rather assign them a dish and I'll make a dish.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But I know some people really have fun preparing a dish together. That's great. And it's good modeling, I think, for kids to see adults cooking together in the kitchen.
I agree.
And they realize it's not just mom's job or dad's job or whoever's job, that it's meant to be a shared fun task. So
and find out what it is you like doing most, right? Monica and I, we prepare everything together, but I'm the chopper. I love cutting things. Honestly, one day I want to actually take a knife.
Finger.
That was a one-time accident, okay? But I want to take knife lessons sometime, right? Where you to really learn how to do it properly. I know the old knuckle idea, but I don't know what it is. It's therapeutic for me.
Yeah,
right?
I'm with you. I love chopping. And just, again, think about the odd fun thing that people in your family won't expect.
Yeah.
Like if I dished up those little mini fried eggs and just presented them as breakfast with no comment. Of course, my family knows me. They know I'm a jokester.
They know you by now.
They'll probably figure it out, but maybe people who were visiting who didn't know me as well. And I would just put there, here's your breakfast, enjoy, and I'd walk away. And then I would love to, kind of record the confusion and then the dawning realization that, oh, okay, this is really fun.
I love it. I love it. Well, one of the things we do in a tradition in our family is that on your birthday you eat cake for breakfast.
Oh, I love that tradition.
Don't have to apologize for it. It's cake for breakfast, and then of course, you have the leftover cake, and you eat the rest of it at after dinner a little bit later on, or even after lunch. You're going to stick around for another segment.
Yes, I am.
What are we making coming up after the break?
Cannoli, but not the usual chocolate chip and mascarpone cheese kind. It's a lemon curd and ricotta filling.
Okay.
Really, really good for spring.
All right, Paula Roy back with us after the break to prepare that and to give you some great tips when it comes to baking. We'll be back with Paula right after this.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hi, I'm Sam LaProud, your proud host of An Hour to Give. I hope you join us this week to talk about L'Arche, Ottawa. You're going to hear some heartwarming stories and ways that you can get involved too.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd Studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plant. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
Boom, 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 boom. 20 bucks. 20 bucks. Hi, guys. It's Maggie, Mrs. Calabash and Derek. And whoa, we're back. Rogers Television. So please watch us on Rogers Television. We've just done our first show. It was Anytime Shrimp Special and an Asian salad. So please remember, Rogers Television, Mrs. Calabash Cooks. I'll see you guys.
Welcome back to the show. We are back with Paula Roy. Of course, you can catch her right here on Rogers TV, Paula Roy's favorite foods. And we're going to be talking a little cannoli in this next segment. And you're doing what? A little bit of a lemon curd?
That's right. So poor lemon curd. What a name is that? Who wants to eat something called curd? Like cheese curds, people know what it is.
Yeah.
So I often will just say, oh, it's homemade lemon pudding. And people are like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Lemon pudding.
Okay,
that sounds
like
good
that.
to me. I like
Yeah.
that idea. So kind of funny. And in Sicily, it's more traditional to have ricotta in the filling than mascarpone cheese or cream cheese, which other regions tend to use. And a lot of the cannoli you get in Canada tends to be those varieties. And so I
Right.
thought, let's make it authentic. Let's do Sicilian.
Nice.
So I mixed up the sort of smoother. There's coarser ricotta that's sort of closer to cottage cheese, and a smoother one with a kind of fine curd. And so that's what I used. A little bit of powdered sugar, and then lemon curd, which is super easy to make. But of course, you can buy it too. Nothing wrong with that. And then no fancy gear needed. Just put it in a zippered bag. Snip the corner off. This is really hard to do when you know the cameras are rolling. The pressure.
But you're right. You don't have to get the fancy piping thing and all that.
Yeah,
you just need a little baggie.
I'm not a big gadget girl. If something is going to make it in my kitchen, it's got to be truly useful and better than me doing it manually.
Right.
And people say, well, what if you want to pipe something fancy? You can just buy the little tips that go in piping bags and screw them onto a zippered bag.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's right.
Anyway, these just, fill them up quickly. You don't want to fill these a ton before you serve them because the shells will start to get a little bit soft.
Oh, yes, of course.
And of course you can make cannoli shells. If you're really crazy authentic, you have bamboo molds that you wrap the pastry around and bake them.
Oh, that's how they do
The
it.
more modern ones are stainless steel tubes. But you can buy these. I bought these at Nicastro's. The Italian grocery stores have them. I've even seen them at big, mainstream grocery stores as well. And then we're going to decorate them a little bit just to make them fancy.
Nice.
And so just a little lemon zest.
I love going to places like Nicastro.
Yeah.
Eh? Such a great spot. Misto's here at Hampton Park.
Love Misto's.
He's such a fantastic guy.
The
He works so
sandwiches
hard.
there?
Oh, the sandwiches are amazing.
Yeah.
I know. I'm telling all the crew here about that.
And then a little powdered sugar, and it just elevates. Like, they looked fine before, but now they look like they might have come from a bakery.
Exactly.
So super simple and fun and delicious. I would invite you to take a bite, but they are messy.
Yeah.
So I think
I
for
might
the
wait
sake
till
of your
later.
soup,
Yeah.
you should wait till later.
I appreciate you. As promised, back to with some advice. And when it comes to baking, it's a science, and you
Yes.
have some great tips for people at
I sure
home,
do.
right?
If you can afford it, definitely invest in a stand mixer. They're on sale often, and they're big box stores have amazing prices on them. They're not as expensive as you think. I probably use mine 6 or 7 times a week.
Really?
I wouldn't bake a thing without it. I mean, I whipped the egg white for the pavlova in it, cookie dough, pizza dough, pasta dough. I use it for everything. Bread dough. It's just such a workhorse.
Yeah.
And on the rare occasion that you run into any troubles with them, they're really easy to be repaired, and they're not that expensive. People think, oh, what if I get in, it breaks down like my toaster, oven, dishwasher. I've had the same mixer for 25 years, and I've had to repair it once. This is KitchenAid's newest color, salt blue or blue salt, and it's just such a gorgeous shade. And they're heavy, so I think they make them so pretty so that you don't mind having it on your countertop.
Yeah, no kidding.
And
yeah,
it'll be top of mind. I think about baking more because it's on the counter. So
and it's got all the attachments too, right? Like
so
if
this
you
is
have a look.
the whisk for whipping. This one comes with a smaller size bowl as well if you're making a smaller batch, which is great. There's a splash shield. There's an attachment for doing stiff doughs. There's an attachment for bread. So it's really got everything. And then you can get an ice cream bowl that you put in the freezer and you make ice cream.
Oh, yes, that's
Pasta
right.
attachment that fits on here. Sausage making attachment. Everything. There's so many different things.
It's
so
amazing.
really versatile.
What else have you got over here?
I have a kitchen scale. Very inexpensive. This one came from Canadian Tire. I like to look at a lot of European recipes, and they only have it in grams and so on. And so I don't know off the top of my head that 185 grams of flour is whatever it is, 2 cups or something.
Right.
So scale is really helpful, and you can just be more accurate that way. And for the small cost of it, I just use it all the time.
Nice.
This is a Danish dough whisk from Lee Valley Tools. For sourdough people, this is the best thing for mixing a bread dough by hand if you're not going to make it in a stand mixer.
Really?
And the dough hardly sticks to it, really easy to clean. And those Danes, they were onto something.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Good digital thermometer.
Yes.
Really, really important. This is the ThermoPro from ThermaPen. So the probe's not too big. I check the temperature of everything. Bread should be about 190 to 200 Fahrenheit in the middle. That's when you know it's done. Sometimes it's really hard to tell with bread.
People forget that with baking, right? To use the thermometer
cakes,
first
I check
thing.
everything.
Yeah,
it's
that's
so much more accurate.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because
really good.
most of the time people think, meat, protein, that kind of thing, but really
also
smart.
from Lee Valley, these scoops, this is the exact right size for muffins and cupcakes.
Okay.
So no more guessing, no more fussing with 2 spoons like our mothers taught us a million years ago.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then this is the perfect size for a standard size cookie. And if you ever wondered why professional cookies look always perfectly round and always exactly the same size, it's because they use a scoop.
Really, eh?
So it just makes it so quick scoop, and I usually scoop out the entire bowl onto a parchment lined tray, freeze them, and then I just pull out 6 cookies at a time.
Nice.
And when they bake from a round ball, they flatten out perfectly, so really worthwhile.
I'm gonna keep that in mind. Yeah.
So one of the features on Paula Roy's Favorite Foods here on Rogers TV is every episode has a kitchen tip.
Right.
And that was a great idea by our esteemed fearless leader, Gavin Lumsden.
Nice.
And so I've had a lot of fun kind of collecting up new ones, thinking about some of my favorites. So one I have is to do with eggs and baking. And you'll often see it says an egg at room temperature or 2 eggs at room temperature.
Right.
And I used to think, what does it matter? Well, it does matter. So if you've ever tried to beat up eggs for scrambled eggs, you know how hard it is to get the white to kind of break down, and you end up with kind of streaky looking eggs. A room temperature egg will beat into a batter much more smoothly. So if you forgot to take it out of the oven 2 hours ago, or to fridge, sorry, lukewarm water, not hot, definitely not hot, just barely warm. Put the egg in about 2 minutes, and it's ready to go.
Ready to go,
so
room temperature.
So simple.
Yeah, because I always take mine out early if I'm doing, say, an omelet, right?
Yes,
a French omelet or something. But then, of course, how often do you forget? Probably 5 out of every 10 times I forget. We got 30 seconds left.
I'm on 5 out of 6. So last big tip, this is one of my favorite party tricks. This is a piece of parchment paper, which I have run under water and crumpled up and shaken out. So if you want to feel it, it's very soft.
Oh, yeah.
And no more origami trying to line the pan. It just sits down like a well-behaved piece of parchment should. Look at that.
Brilliant.
It's just amazing. So
Paula Roy,
it's the only
ladies
way.
and gentlemen. ConstantlyCooking.com for all the recipes that Paula talks about. Almost all of them, I would say, right? All of them?
Yeah.
All of these. All of these. We'll be back with more right after this.
Think it's okay to drive high? Think again. Drug-impaired driving is as illegal as drunk driving, and in Ontario, the penalties are the same. If police suspect you're driving under the influence of drugs of any kind, or a combination of drugs and alcohol, and you fail a roadside test, your license will be suspended immediately for up to 30 days. You'll pay a penalty of $198. And you can be charged with a criminal offense of impaired driving, the same as alcohol. Driving high is never okay.
My Uncle Cheney was one of over 150,000 Indigenous children that were taken to residential schools between the 1800s and 1996. My uncle ran away from school wanting to get home to his mom and dad, and sadly he didn't make it and died of exposure. When Gord Downey found out about my late Uncle Cheney's story, he wrote Secret Path. a series of poems that became an album, then a graphic novel, a documentary, and a concert. Gord met my family, and together we formed the Gord, Downey, and Cheney Winjack Fund. Together, we are sharing Secret Path and other reconciliation resources with legacy schools, setting up legacy spaces across Canada, and hosting events like Secret Path Week to inspire all Canadians to engage in reconciliation. Before he left us, Gord asked us all to do something.
You're gonna figure it out.
Will you join us? Together, we can make Canada a better place.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
What a fun show we have for you today. We're having some fun with food with Paula. Now we're going to have some fun with my next guest. David Kern is artist and instructor at the Ottawa School of Art. He also has his own classes. They've got some spring classes coming up. He's going to tell us all about that. But today, David, we're going to be talking about something called expressive drawing, right?
Expressive drawing,
What
yes.
does that mean exactly?
Well, it just means it's fun.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily accurate, but it has a feeling of something. Which and there's some sense of place or person, but there's some of the artist in it as well.
Okay.
Right? There's some, so it has some kind of vibe that's a little bit kind of independent of the subject, if you like.
Okay.
Right? So and last time we painted. Right.
Yes.
But sometimes you can't get the paints out, right?
Right.
Or you don't want to, you know. But doing a little bit of art every day is very, you know, therapeutic.
Agreed.
And it's so easy to do at home, right? So I thought what we do today is a bit of drawing.
Okay.
But rather than use a pencil, because like everyone's got a pencil in their desk drawer, right? We're going to use a bit of charcoal, right? Which and if anyone hasn't got some charcoal, I say go to the art store or craft store and get a little bit of charcoal, because it's just great stuff. It's a little bit messy,
yeah,
but it's like totally lots of fun, right? So
nice.
So we're gonna do just a little bit of something with what I call regular charcoal. It's not compressed, right? And actually, I don't go for the compressed stuff because it doesn't erase that well. So,
okay.
So give it a go. Just put a little bit just use the side of it, right? Yeah. So see, it just see, and then we can just take one of these squidgy, kneadable erasers, right, which just last forever, right? They normally end up on my sole, right? So I never need new shoes because there's always some of this on it, right? So just it's like chewing gum, but don't chew it, right?
No.
And just put it in a little bit of a needle, an edge to it, right? And and that charcoal will come straight out.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you can kind of draw with the. You can draw with the eraser.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's cool.
It's kind of, so you're always drawing, right? You're not taking things away. You're drawing, right? You're drawing with the eraser, which is great. So that's what we're going to do. So,
all right.
So I thought what we'll do is I'll just start and we'll kind of go back and forth a little bit, right?
Yeah, I like that.
So I'm using just a bit of a mid-tone sheet here, but you can do this on a white regular piece of paper, and in fact. You know, and I've just done it on you know, paper from the dollar store or whatever.
Oh, really?
Right?
Okay.
It's a little bit better than that, but you know, sort of that idea works, right? So I can if I just start off with a little bit of, I'll just put a little bit of charcoal on. I don't have to. And let's say we wanted to do an old tree, right? An old tree, right?
Yeah.
So I can form the kind of form of the tree quite quickly using just you know, the side of the charcoal, right?
Yeah.
I say expressive because I'm not actually looking at the tree, right? I mean, I'm making this up.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You don't have, you're not using a photograph that you took, and you're just going by memory and how you feel.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I can see why charcoal would be, you know, if you're getting started.
Yeah.
Right, as an artist, that this would be a really fun way to get started, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, and the thing is that it's so quick to form images with charcoal. Whereas if you've got a pencil, you tend to be going a little bit lighter, a little bit slower.
Yeah.
And so in this case, I'm just defining, you know, what.
Speaking of getting started, by the way, everybody at home, David has a new spot on his website. So if you go to davidkern.com/get started, you're going to be doing kind of this type of lesson for people, right?
In fact, I've already put something on the website.
Oh, you have?
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got a version of this that I've done, and you can kind of follow along with the steps that I had to get something like this, right? And it doesn't have to be a tree. You can. I do lots of portraits and things, but I'll just just mess around with this a little bit. So I think you can see that kind of gets the form very quickly. And then what we can do is we can actually sort of erase things. Like if we got some light coming this way, right? Then we can just pull out the areas that are going to be in light. Right.
Yeah.
Why don't you give it a go?
So
just perhaps take a little bit out there. Right. 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 So that could be like the light side of the tree, right?
Yeah.
And in fact, if I just go and sort of put a little bit of a edge around it, now it's a bit of bark that's fallen off.
Right.
Right. Actually, just dab away at it, right? And you'll actually create
like little knots in the tree.
Yeah, little knots and bark and such. Like you have a lot of fun just sort of seeing what effects you can have just with a little bit of charcoal. Just a little bit of charcoal, right? So I'll just continue on. I'll just make a little bit of a scene of it. Perhaps we got a little bit of a hummock there with some plants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually I tried just in the background here, I'll just pull. See, I can take some of this out that we did at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right? We can just kind of bring it back to. So
that we see more of the tree, so I could even take out some here, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly, so, right.
I've never worked with charcoal before or seen somebody working with it like this.
So, and of course you can go back and forth. So if I wanted to put some like small branches in.
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned, spring classes are coming up for both adult and kids. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with David after the break to tell you about registration. Summer camps are coming up as well. Lots of things going on at the Ottawa School of Art. We'll be back with David right after this. Don't go anywhere.
This guy's just absolutely dynamic when it comes to putting the puck in.
This guy, something else. Here comes the 67th. Wow. And now the Rangers are away.
His acceleration's off the charts.
That's a player that all eyes in the NHL are going to be on tonight.
You are not going to sit there and tell me that this guy is not going to be a future NHLer. This kid is something special.
The OHL playoffs on Rogers TV.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law, requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
Welcome back. We are back with artist and instructor David Kern, working on our expressive drawing together here on the show today. It's exciting, but also exciting because you've got your spring courses coming up for both kids and adults,
yes,
right?
Absolutely, yeah. The kids' classes start this weekend, right? So that's coming out quickly. The adult classes a week later on around the 16th or something.
Okay.
Right. So the spring's a great time to do art, right? And there's there's a lot of variety of courses, including some plein air courses. It's just great, right? And actually, for the kids, the summer camp registration is open already as well, right?
And they book up quick, right? Oh
yeah,
they book up very quickly.
Yeah, and it's not just the downtown, right? There's there's a whole range of courses in Orleans, and there's some in Canada as well.
Oh,
Less,
excellent!
but we got, certainly kids classes are in downtown and in Orleans, and adults in the 3 locations.
Wonderful,
right? So that's just great. And as you were saying, right? So that this April's very busy. We've got this great portrait competition.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, so this is a big new thing.
Okay.
We got a $5,000 prize for a commission to paint Colonel Chris Hatfield.
Oh, nice!
Cool, right?
That is fantastic. Yeah, we're just looking at it here. Here's the portrait contest.
Yeah.
So that deadline is April 15th. Is that right?
That's right, April 15th.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there'll be an online show, and there'll be a show of finalists as well. So so we'll get to see some of this great art that's
amazing.
Come in, right?
Yeah.
And there's another, maybe not quite so high profile, but there's a show of works on paper from all of the students and instructors, which is going to be coming along at the end of April. And I think
excellent!
That's just be great to see as well, right? And that's anything goes. It's got to be on paper.
Okay.
So we could put this in, right?
Yeah, we could enter this. Absolutely.
So
yeah. The Kern Phage expressive tree.
Right.
Yeah. I love it. We're going to continue working on this
so
a little
just
bit,
do
right?
A little bit more, right? Maybe we'll just pull out a bit more light. So we got sort of this idea of lights and darks and something in the middle, which is what we kind of talked about last time as well.
That's right.
And we won't spend too much time on it, but I could say, that those could be some trees in the background, right? So you've got this kind of idea of distance, right? And it's all beginning to come together. But there's maybe I'll put a few little plants on the ridge here as well, right? So
nice.
So you can kind of see, you start getting something that's making a bit of sense, and you can go and modify things very easily, right? If you want to sort of change anything, right? You can do that quite quickly.
I was saying to David during our break there that I've always found art a little bit intimidating, but something like this, I can see. If people are a little bit intimidated by art, to start with something like charcoal, because you can you can see that you can get something right away,
so
right? Some success, early success in it.
Yeah.
And then you don't have that frustration, right, of trying to paint something perfectly.
And you can change it so easily as well, right? Because it's always a bit of a pain rubbing things out, right? Whereas this is so quick. But there's more. There's one other thing that we can do.
Well, yeah, I want to see.
Real big fun,
because I noticed you brought some white chalk along with you as well.
Because the thing is, I did this on a mid-tone sheet that is, there's a buff color, right? So what that means is that we can actually highlight some areas with white. Right, so when you give it a go, we'll just put a little bit of light in, but not too much. But the areas where we've got light, right, maybe a bit up here, right. Yeah, that's the idea. There's no rule other than not too much, and it just kind of sets the whole thing alive, right? We could, for example, just say that if we got some root here, right, and we want to kind of highlight it a bit, we just can go in and add a little bit of white, right? So it's a nice, few little. My wife would call these funions.
Funions.
Yeah.
Your wife is an artist as well, right?
Yes.
And the two of you teach together,
we teach together.
Yeah.
So the workshops we do sort of independently and with the school. Yes, my wife and I do lots of weekend workshops.
That must be so much fun to work together with, especially you both obviously love it.
Yes,
right?
Indeed,
tremendously. Yeah.
So there we are. That's
Look at that.
kind of a quick run around how you can kind of form an image, with charcoal, and this idea of using a little bit of a paper with a bit of tone on it gives you an extra dimension because you can use a little bit of white as well, and it just kind of pops everything out.
Nice. I love it. You've inspired me.
Yeah.
You really have, and that's something you do with all of your students, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because when you love what you do, it doesn't seem like work.
It's right. It's not. Yeah. It's
You and I have that in common.
Yes,
for sure.
Actually,
right?
because you got to be an artist. You got to be yourself.
Yeah.
Right. There's no. Because what they, I think it was Oscar Wilde said, sort of be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Right. But that's certainly true for the arts, right? And I think. Using other people's styles and copying is all part of the process, but in the end, it will come out your way.
Yeah.
Right. And so don't feel like sort of it has to be like other people's, because really that's kind of pushing things uphill a little bit, right?
Yeah, and it's okay to be a copycat, right? And as you said, right, that's how you learn, and then you put your own twist to it, and
everyone's done that.
Come up with your own style, right? Eventually. I've got 30 seconds left. David has these two wonderful books that he has authored as well. Really fantastic books, beautiful pieces in each of these as well, and these are available at the Ottawa School of Art.
Absolutely,
And don't forget davidkern.com, and you click on his /get started, and if you sign up, you'll get.
I'll make sure that everyone gets the presentations and the demonstrations as I'm doing them.
Perfect. Perfect. So Thank you so much, David. We'll see you again. See you again soon. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more. Introduce you to the 2024 CHEO champion coming up right after the break.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
I'm a singer-songwriter from Six Nations, and I've been writing songs about my experience, and with that being said, it's helped me hold hope in my heart in following my dreams and being resilient to everyday Indigenous battles.
Competition between spirit, earth, and wind, let me tell you now.
This song in particular, The Shiner, is a special song that I wrote for my grandfather. He was a snow snake maker, and that is a Haudenosaunee winter sport. It's my job to educate and to share, and the music allows me to do that.
He'll be shining snow snakes and mud cats to the end of his days.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to RogersTV.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at RogersTV.com.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Back to introduce you to an absolute superstar. She's the 2024 CHEO champion. Her name is Fatoumata Diallo. Welcome. Great to have you here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is exciting times. Emily Jameson joins us as well. She's the VP of Corporate Philanthropy and Community Engagement with the CHEO Foundation. Emily, welcome. Great to have you as well. Tell me about this champion program.
Sure.
What's the idea behind it?
Sure. Well, CHEO is a part of CMN, which is Children's Miracle Network. And that network is essentially all the pediatric hospitals in North America coming together and advocating for people just like Fatoumata, raising funds. And every year we select a new CHEO champion to represent us. And this year we selected Fatoumata.
So, Fatoumata, tell me a little bit about your CHEO journey and what brought you to CHEO.
Well, I've had sickle cell since I was a baby, and when we moved to Ottawa, I started having a lot of pain crises. So my parents brought me to CHEO, and I was immediately transferred to the MDU department, which is the sickle cell department and a blood disorders department. And since then, I've had a really long journey.
I can imagine.
Trying a lot of treatments, and some worked, some didn't, and then having a lot of procedures along the way. And recently, almost 2 years ago, I had a bone marrow transplant, which fixes sickle cell, basically. It's the only cure for sickle cell.
Right.
And now I'm the champion.
Nice. So, I mean, do you have any ongoing challenges still?
I mean, with the transplant, it's it makes your immune system very weak because they break it down completely to zero in order for them to transplant my sister's bone marrow, which she was my donor.
Nice.
Super fun. But basically, my immune system is still very low. So every other week, I have a cold or something.
What does it mean to you to be the CHEO champion? Tell me about that.
I'm super excited because I love working at CHEO. I love being there, and I just love talking and bringing awareness to social issues like CHEO and all the kids at CHEO, and just doing a lot of for CHEO because they did so much for me growing up, and I just want to give that back. And I love being the CHEO champion because I get to talk a lot, and I love talking.
I know. So someone could be after my job, by the way. I can see someone a television career in your future. That's for sure. When you hear from a young person like Fatoumata, Emily, and you know how much this means to her and how much she loves being at CHEO, even though what brought her there was something that was, very, very difficult for her and her family. How does that make you and your team feel?
We're very proud, first of all, to be working at CHEO and CHEO Foundation, to see the impact that it has on kids. As a mom myself, it's so important that we're actually doing positive work in the community. And when I meet somebody so brilliant and smart like Fatoumata, understanding that CHEO gave her a chance to live her full life, I mean, where's a better place to work outside of Rogers?
Well played. Thank you, Emily. Thank you. You are going to Florida coming up in just about a week. Tell me about what brings you to Florida.
Well, the CMN trip for Children's Miracle Network is basically Children's Week, and all the champions from the hospitals in North America get to meet up in Florida Disney.
Wow.
Yeah, and we get to do like a bunch of fun activities with like the sponsors of the hospitals, and like we do champion interviews, which I'm one of the interviewers.
Nice.
And I'm super excited about that because I get to talk.
So what's your itinerary like then once you arrive in Florida?
Well, I think the first day we have like introduction to everyone, Canada and the US. And then the second day we have like galas, dinners, stuff like that. Super interesting.
Nice.
And what I'm most excited about is we get to do like a full trip to Disney. So.
Amazing. Have you been to Disney before?
I have.
Okay,
I have.
okay.
But I'm really excited to go back now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now I can actually remember stuff that much. So.
Excellent. Let's talk about the foundation itself for a little bit, Emily. I think it's pretty obvious to most, what the purpose is, but tell us why that foundation is so incredibly important to people like Fatoumata.
So our funding, we obviously get some ministry funding, but we actually rely on community funding quite a bit. So programs like CMN, so Children's Miracle Network, really are integral to some of the funds we raise. So when you go to a Walmart or a Costco and you're asked the cash for funds and $1, $2 here, $5 there, that's so important for us because it really does add up. That program alone makes a few $1 million for us for the foundation, which goes back to research, programs, services, all the things that Fatoumata got to experience at CHEO. So it's really important that the community comes out and supports us.
Fatoumata, being the champion, so when you come back from Florida, are there things that you will be doing within the community then as the champion?
Well, there's like a lot of things. I have the CHEO Telethon coming up in June.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about that. And then any event that involves CHEO, I will obviously be there as the champion.
Nice.
And I think also what Emily said about the CHEO funds are very important to support things like child life, which is one of my favorite parts about CHEO.
Well, tell me,
is also looking for a co-op, so we've offered her to come for this summer and be a co-op student too, so she can give full circle back. Yeah.
Well, we might steal her from you.
Well, we'll talk about that after the segment.
What about goals for the future? When you look at, you told me when you were quite young you wanted to be a doctor growing up, but that has changed. You're what, 17 now?
Yes.
Okay.
So I still have I'm exploring my options. I'm very passionate about a lot of different things. I like being a lawyer, or I like psychology. I like journalism. I just like talking. Anything that involves being like talkative, put me in there.
Okay, yeah, you've got the personality for, I think, to tackle anything. That's for sure. CHEO has a number of events that happen throughout the year. Any big event that you wanted to touch on, Emily, coming up?
Well, we do have See and Cycle coming up, which I'm not sure you're aware of, goes to oncology as well. So happening May 5th. So if you're eager to get out your bikes for the spring, come support CHEO. We'd love that. We also have a 50-50 going on right now as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so there's lots of different ways to get involved with CHEO, whether it is an Ask at the Cash and giving a donation of $1 or $2, or coming out to some of our events, or even just becoming a monthly donor. We appreciate all the community support we get.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
The community has always been amazing when it comes to CHEO.
But we need it. That's the thing, right? We really, truly do. To offer the services that Fatoumata had, we need that community support.
Yeah. Congratulations again. Have the best time in Florida.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. We'll be back with more right after this.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd Studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plan. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
Hi, I'm Sam LaProud, your proud host of An Hour to Give. I hope you join us this week to talk about L'Arche, Ottawa. You're going to hear some heartwarming stories and ways that you can get involved too.
Here's something that could perhaps boost your stress and anxiety level. I'm just going to use 2 words for you here, okay? Spring cleaning. And you're like, oh my gosh, Derek, why? Don't worry, there are ways you can reduce the stress. I'm not the expert. My next guest is a self-care expert and the host of the Juggle is Real podcast, Andriana Gonco, back on the show. How are you?
Hi, Derek. We made it. It's spring.
We did it.
Woo!
It's spring.
Yes.
I mean, it's officially spring. It may not feel like that to many, but I think, you know, in our minds, we're thinking, okay, this is the time of year where we're going to sort of refresh, but it does cause people a lot of stress, doesn't it?
Well, cleaning isn't always our favorite task.
Yeah.
But these things have to get done, and that's okay. That's why I'm here. I've got 3 steps to make your spring cleaning simplified.
Okay.
And then I've got 1 bonus tip to share too.
I like it. Okay, well, so what is step number 1?
Step number 1 is that we're going to simplify our everyday routines.
Okay.
Right? Because you're adding spring cleaning to your to-do list.
Right.
So we want to make sure that the everyday things, we're going to use multi-purpose items. We're going to try to use things that are as easy as possible to get the job done.
Okay.
Right? And so let me give you the example of laundry. That's the every day,
Yes.
round the clock. I've got 3 boys. Laundry's happening all the time. With a spring clean, we're washing the winter gear. Maybe there's those extra tasks. We're pulling out, you know, seasonal items as well.
Right.
And I just want to mention one of my favorite products. This is Swash laundry detergent.
Yeah, you love this.
I do. We've been using it in our home for a few years now.
Okay.
Okay, and I just want to mention a couple of things here, and I'm sorry for getting this off your lovely display, but Swash has a bold new look, but it's still that same amazing and effective formula. It is 8 times concentrated. That's why you can get up to 80 loads in this compact bottle.
80 loads?
80 loads of
Okay.
laundry. So
Wow.
literally you pop the top, you put it upside down, and you give it a squeeze, and it dispenses the perfect amount of detergent every time.
I love that.
It's perfect, makes life easier, and it makes the laundry feel easier.
And I think I always put too much in. Yeah. Honestly, every time. Because it's hard, you know, you look at that thing and it says, you know, dry and liquid, and there's different lines, and you wonder, that looks like way too much, right?
That's right,
I
and
guess 'cause it's
that's really
concentrated.
common. That's
Okay.
really common. People use too much, and that can actually affect the performance of your washing machine and how clean your clothes are getting.
Gotcha.
So simplify. Step 1 is simplify your everyday routines.
All right, step number 2.
Step
Walk
number
me through
2.
it.
Step number 2 kind of goes hand in hand because we want to care for the things that are doing the cleaning for us. Right? So
Yeah,
the
something
things
I
that are
don't think
doing
about,
all the dirty
yeah.
work, we want to make sure maybe we're pulling out the refrigerator, we're going to wipe down the coils in the back, we're going to maybe get the vacuum into all of those hard to reach places that I don't know how the crumbs get there. Somehow there's crumbs,
You're
I don't
right.
know. And we also want to be caring for the inside of our appliances.
Right.
Inside of our dishwasher, inside of our washing machine. That's where I turn to Afresh.
Okay.
Okay, so Afresh, these are the washing machine cleaner tablets.
All right,
Okay.
okay.
And it's going to remove that grime, that buildup, that odor-causing residue. Okay,
Yeah,
so
'cause
if you
you've
are
ever,
putting too much,
I was going to say,
this is
if
gonna
you've
help.
ever opened up your washing machine and you kind of have that mustiness, right? And it happens, right?
It happens, and you know what?
And
If
this will
you're-
fix that.
That's right.
Okay.
If you're a busy mom, sometimes you forget. You put the load in, you got to rewash it. I hear
Right.
you. I've been there. But Afresh is great because you just put in one of these tablets,
Okay.
and it's going to do all the heavy lifting. It's going to clean the inside of your washing machine for you.
What would you do for dishwasher?
Same
So you
thing.
use
It's
the
a
same-
bag.
oh,
It's
you
a
could
bag
use it,
just like this,
okay.
Afresh, except it's going to have the dishwasher on it. You put it in your dishwasher, and it cleans the inside for you, breaks down all of that
I'm
grime.
gonna try this, yeah.
So make sure that you're caring for the things that are cleaning for you.
And by the way, and this is my own tip, I'm sure you know this too, but check the filter. Your dishwasher has a filter, and you'd be surprised what it looks like. It can get pretty ugly. Step number 3.
Step
Tell me
number
about it.
3, well, with a spring clean, we want that fresh start. To me, that means organized, decluttering.
Yeah.
Right? Things can pile up, and so we want to do that purge in the spring, and then we want to make sure we have a system moving forward so
Okay.
that things don't continue to pile up, because
Right.
it is a huge frustration of mine, probably many of us, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Easter, right? We've got all these beautiful recipes from Julie, and then companies coming and we're stashing things in corners, and then all of a sudden, we don't know where those
Yeah.
things are when we need them,
Agreed.
right? So you want to do that purge. You want to go through the toys in the toy room. You want to go through the clothes in your closets and get rid of those things that you don't need. But then moving forward, you want to have a system. So I love something like a drawer organizer like this.
Yeah.
So everything has a place, and that's what I tell my kids. everything needs a home, because if you don't have a home for it, it's going to get unorganized and it's going to pile up.
Yeah, and not everything has to go into landfill anymore, right? There's thrift stores, you can donate to different places. You can also, put it on Marketplace, right?
Absolutely.
Even if you only get $5, it's $5 more than you had yesterday kind of deal, right?
Absolutely.
You have a bonus tip. What is your bonus tip today?
Yes, that's right. So as you can see here, we've got all of our things nicely organized in our drawer. Now, it's my son's 3rd birthday, actually, on Saturday.
Oh,
my
happy
youngest,
birthday.
he's turning 3 years old.
What's his name?
Zachary.
Happy birthday, Zachary.
Happy birthday, Zach. So I want to make sure that I have all the things, right? We got the balloons, we got all the things. I want to make sure we got the candles.
Yeah.
And with that, we want to make sure we have the lighter, okay? So this is the Bic Easy Reach lighter.
Oh, these are
amazing.
great.
Now that you have your organizational system, everything's in its place, you're not searching for the lighter, because that is a huge frustration, right? It has this extended wand that allows you to reach all of those hard-to-reach places. This is the perfect lighter for all of your candle lighting occasions, whether it's the jar candle, whether it's the birthday candle, you're gonna get the Easy Reach lighter. And that leads me into the final tip.
Okay.
Which is, when you're caring for your home, don't forget to care for yourself, Derek. You put all of this hard work in, you've done all of the, put in that elbow grease. Maybe you have products that are helping you along the way, but don't forget to put your feet up, light that candle now that you know where your Easy Reach lighter is.
Especially when it gets deeper, right?
That's right. And this lighter with the extended wand really helps you get in all those hard to reach places for your candle lighting occasions. Put your feet up, enjoy.
Yeah.
I brought you, this is my self-care planner. This is called the Juggle is Real Authentic Self-Care Planner. So practice some gratitude.
Yeah.
Take that time for yourself. Make sure that you care for yourself as well as your home.
Agreed. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Great tip. Awesome.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Welcome back to the show. What a great show. We're just going to review a couple of things we talked about. No events to tell you about from today's show. Fill up quickly. So you've got the kids classes that are coming up this weekend, April 6th, and then you've got April 15th is when the adult classes kick off for those spring classes. And don't forget, there's some classes available at Byward Market, Orleans, Canada. So no matter where you live in the city, there's online classes as well. And you can visit David Kern's website to find out more information and check out that Get Started portion. Coming up on tomorrow's show, Daniela Croco back on the show. She is the host of Simply Cooking by Chef. She's going to stop by and prepare a couple of fabulous recipes for us. Also, speaking of food, from Cocotte Bistro, we've got the food and beverage director, Joseph Rogers. He's going to be joining us on the show, talk about all the wonderful things that they have planned, especially moving into spring and summer. We're going to get a little workout. J.M. Sauvé joining me on the show. He's the president and CEO of J.M. Sauvé Flex Fitness. He's bringing along a client, so we're going to walk you through a couple of simple exercises you can do at home using some really simple equipment, and we'll tell you about the latest production at the Ottawa Little Theatre. It is called Grand Horizons, and it's a great comedy drama. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening, everybody.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
And roasted the most perfectly golden brown marshmallow you'd ever seen. And the crowd went wild.
Rogers TV invites you to let your imagination roam as we present you with a new season of Ottawa Storytellers. Each week, we'll bring you a collection of original and creative stories presented for children of all ages. Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers right here on Rogers TV.
Ottawa, it's the national capital of Canada.